The Springboks suffered their first defeat in Argentina this weekend, going down 26-24 in Salta. Coach Alistair Coetzee and his Chargers have come under heavy fire in the wake of that defeat. To discuss this further, we are joined in studio by Sport24's Rob Howing. Rob, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Hello, Nick.
And sadly, sort of more doom and gloom for the national rugby side. First of all, let's look at the performance before we get into the politics, etc. Very error-ridden, particularly in the first half, but it also seemed like there was no clear kind of strategy or game plan. What did you make of that performance?
That's exactly right. They're stuck smack in the middle. We've been waiting several matches for the Springboks to finally sort of click, to sort of show us what the new way is going to be. But we're all none the wiser. That's the big issue, and that's what's got a lot of the critics really up in arms. I mean, perhaps we should have already taken notice when we eked out that 2-1 win against a very weakened Irish team on home soil a few weeks ago. That was the sort of danger signs. But you know, as someone like Victor Matfield said in the SuperSport studio after the game, you know, for all the talk about strategy, there are certain basic things that you do need to get right. You do need to build that sort of a bridgehead. You do need to establish forward supremacy. You do need to just take the right options, regardless of the whether you want to play like a sort of to an older sort of Springbok traditional strength template or this new sort of up-tempo Lions way. So we really are stuck with this sort of a whole lot of very confusing ingredients that are not making it very good stew at the moment.
Do you think a lot of the criticism is fair? I mean, it does. I mean, I do recall Heineken Meyer's tenure as well as Peter de Villiers. That first year, there was a very similar sort of indecision around a sort of particular game plan or strategy. And like you said earlier, is this not just the sort of transition teething stuff, or can we put that aside?
Look, to some extent, we still do have to give some sort of allowance for transition. We lost an awful lot of our sort of intellectual property, if you like, when we saw people like Farid Duprier, who was an ace kind of string puller. You know, he was almost like a fly half at scrum half because of the way he used to sort of dictate play. What the Springboks really chronically lack this year is direction from the key decision-making areas 9, 10, 12. You've got an out-of-form Damien de Allende at 12. Remember that you used to have a Jean de Villiers as captain and inside centre, and a very experienced character who knew how to sort of play a match, who knew how to dictate the tempo, the strategic sort of string pulling in a match. We've got real inexperience at 9, 10 and 12 at the moment, and that's really showing. As well as in the pack, of course, someone like Matfield, the old line-out maestro, the guy who used to supervise their sort of rolling mauls off the line-outs. I heard Victor was also lamenting the fact that the Boks didn't put together one driving maul from a line-out, which is one of their most dangerous weapons. Absolutely. It is their area of strength, like it or not. It's probably the best Bok passport to sort of try scoring at the moment, given the shambles around the sort of, just what is the correct way forward. So we do have to make some allowance for the fact that we've lost a lot of that real sort of spine of experience from last year, and that was going to take a little bit of time. But we're 5 games in, and you start now to think, maybe it's not working. Maybe now the time has really come to sort of shake the bag and to make some quite tangible changes to the team, because a lot of players have now had up to 5 test matches, some of them sort of pretty much on the trot, to really sort of stamp their authority, and it just hasn't happened from a lot of those players. So I think the time has come to revisit team selection for the trip to Australia and New Zealand, which of course doesn't look a particularly sort of appealing prospect at the moment.